Welcome back to another edition of Raw out of 10 on the Wrestle Debate. Quite a stacked show today, actually. We've got two championship matches, one for the Universal title and one for the Raw Women's title. Both rematches from the horror show Extreme Rules. So let's see how they go. Randy Orton kicked off the show. He listed his long achievements and then said he wanted to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. He said Drew had his respect, but he also had the title that Randy wanted to challenge for at SummerSlam. Then Nia Jax made her entrance as Randy was leaving and said she wanted to challenge for the Raw Women's title. Baszler then interrupted to say no one gave a damn, but Nia punched her in the face and a brawl broke out as we headed to the break on Raw. Not going to give either of these a grade. I'm going to grade them from what happened later on in the show. Then we got a number one contender match for the tag team titles between the Viking Raiders, Andrade and Garza, and Ricochet and Alexander. Andrade and Garza attacked the Raiders before the bell even rung, and Profits stepped in before we headed to the break. Back in the ring, Alexander and Ivar were in the ring, while Andrade and Garza chose to watch from ringside. Ricochet was tagged in, and the two teams decided to attack Garza and Andrade instead of fighting. They wiped out the two of them before resuming the match, with Ricochet teamed up with Andrade for a bit against Eric before Andrade turned on him. Ivar came in, took on Andrade before we got to another break. We returned to see Garza and Ricochet tag in before Ricochet hit his huge sequence of moves, and it looked like Ricochet was going to win until Ivar hit a dive and wiped out Ricochet, and Cedric got hit by the wing clipper from Angel Garza. So Andrade and Garza will face the Street Profits at SummerSlam. Overall, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Happy with the winners, and it was a good match. Then we got Nia Jax v Shayna Baszler. Baszler and Jax went after each other, wasting no time, and the referee could barely get out of the way. The two headed outside, and Nia was slamming Baszler into the plexiglass before they were counted out on Raw. They kept on brawling, and security came out to stop them before the security was taken out by the pair. Jax took out a WWE official, and more of them had to drag Shayna away. 5 out of 10. What the hell was this? The Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, came to the ring. Rollins called Dominic out, saying he won't hurt him. Dominic got in the ring before he eventually attacked Rollins. Rollins and Murphy dominated for a little while before Aleister Black came out, and Black got the same treatment as Dominic, really, and they kept on being beaten down until towards the end of the segment, Dominic got back up and started whacking Rollins and Murphy with a kendo stick to have the upper hand. I'm going to give this a 6.25 out of 10, to be honest. I didn't really feel it. I didn't think it was as good as it could have been, really. MVP Lashley and Benjamin were out for the VIP lounge, and Ali was a guest. Ali said he was happy to be back on Raw before MVP asked him to join the crew, when Ali once again rejected. And then R-Truth came out to try and take away Shelton Benjamin's title, but Lashley chased him away. Then we got Lashley v Ali, and this was pretty much dominance from Lashley. At one point, the Tozawa's Ninjas interrupted, trying to take the title away from Benjamin, but they failed. And then, Lashley really dominated. There was a very few moments where you thought Ali was going to win. Ali countered Dominator and hit a huge DDT, followed by the 450. However, Lashley dodged it and put him in the full Nelson for the win. I'm going to give this a 6.25 out of 10. I just don't really support burying Ali just 2 weeks after he returned. Then we got the Raw Women's title match, which I thought would be the main event, but not. Before the match, Kairi Sane chased off Bayley, so it was level 1-on-1. Then the two of them had a great match like they always do. There was multiple great spots outside the ring, using the table, and what can you expect, because these are just two great wrestlers. Asuka was closing in on the victory after Banks had Asuka in multiple bank statements. Before Bayley was on the screen, brutally attacking Kairi Sane, and Asuka tried to ignore it, but eventually she couldn't. She went and saved her friend, and she decided to lose the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka left the ring and handed the match to Banks via count out. You know what? I like this. It was good to see Kairi get a proper send-off by Asuka towards the end of the show. And this was a great match. And I'm kind of interested to see where it goes with Sasha as the Raw Women's Champ. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next up, we got Buddy Murphy versus Humberto Carrillo. filler in it. So Murphy unloaded on Carrillo out of the gate, but Humberto turned it around and hit some big moves, sending Murphy into the barricades. Murphy got a near fall. It's kind of back and forth until the finish when Carrillo went up top, but Murphy took him down before both men were down after a super kick from Humberto. Carrillo hit a missile drop kick and got a near fall on Murphy. Carrillo took the Murphy's Law and went down. I'm going to give it 6.25 out of 10. There just wasn't any point to this. And yeah, it's just to use up time. Finally, Drew McIntyre v Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre revealed the stipulation to be Extreme Rules. This was a pretty dominant display from Drew. He tossed Dolph into a ring full of steel stairs, and the fight spilled over to the timekeeper's area for a little while, where Drew speared Ziggler through the barricade, and then put him back in the wing and then pitted the Claymore. But after the match, Randy Orton came in with an RKO after the match and took Drew out before the show ended. I can't wait for Drew v Randy at SummerSlam. It should be great. So I'm going to give it a 6.75 out of 10. Yeah, and overall this week, Raw is going to get a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was a good show in parts. I enjoyed the 2 title matches. I thought they were very good. Number 1 contender for the tag team match. But then again, there were parts that I just didn't really get hyped for. I'm thinking mainly the Mysterio and Rollins segments. The Lashley and Ali segment didn't really get me that hyped. But there we have it. Raw's just very inconsistent these days, and that just showed it again today. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video today. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Remember to follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Peace!